Okay, good afternoon everyone. How is your study going so far? Have chance to read some book or learn something new? The more you read, the more you stay focused. It helps you to get closer to the teaching of the Buddha through that book. This is the summary, the book of Naktamtri. Naktamtri is the first level of the basic Dhamma foundation that the new monk should know. And when you're comfortable, you pass this exam. Next year you take the second level. There are 3 levels. So level 1, 2, 3. 3 is the highest, and beyond that you can continue to study Pali. Is the language used in the time of the Buddha. So when the monk understand Pali, and that monk have in the better position to study the authentic teaching of the Buddha from the Pali text canon. Okay, because that text already written in Pali. There's no Thai, no English, and every translator, they come from this one, this original one, from Pali to English, from Pali to Chinese, Pali to Sanskrit, and Pali to Thai to Myanmar. So come from here, and that is why in Thailand, monks in Thailand, they in the old day, everyone need to study Pali in order for them to understand the authentic teaching of the Buddha. So if you are real in your ordination, whether you set goal to become a monk 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, doesn't matter. If you are real, if you are sincere of your own practice, I'm pretty sure that you will get the result. How many times you spend on meditation in one day? And each session that you sit, do you really reflect on your own practice? What about your precept? When you do confession, Sappata Patiyo Orojemi, do you really reflect on your precept, or you just say that's what people say? Do you really reflect that, oh okay, today I make some mistake, tomorrow I will be more mindful and I will do my best not to make the same mistake? If you make mistake again, it's okay. We are a normal human being. We make mistake all the time. In other words, I like to use that we are an ignorant beings. We so ignorant. We make mistake all the time because our mind is crowded. Our mind is not always mindful, not always bright, not always clear. That's why we make a mistake. But when we do confession, this is the time we reflect on our precept. Without precept, monk is not monk. So Dhamma can disappear, but as long as Sangha stay together, good Sangha who observe clean precept. So this is the hope for Buddhism to still survive. So the first 5 years, to me, I think it's very critical for you to get to know this idea, okay, of yourself when you undergone this training to be a good monk, to understand the precept, to understand the idea of the Sangha. Today we'll get to that, to the idea of the triple gems. Okay, let me start from here. What is Banpacha? Banpacha is going forth, right? Ordination in English is ordination. And the reason someone ordained, according to this definition, okay, Banpacha come in 2 meaning. The first one is avoiding, and the second one is going forth. So have these 2 ideas in your mind when you remind yourself why I become a monk. Avoiding what? Avoiding all the bad thing, all the evil. Okay, avoiding defilement, all the bad deeds. You can think of anything: violence, hatred, breaking all the precept. Okay, greed, hatred, delusion, agitated mind, or selfishness. Those kind of things. Name those bad quality, and this include all dimension of the word evil. You avoiding all evil thing. Everything that considered bad, don't do it. This is the idea of someone becoming a monk. We stay away from that. And the second dimension of the word Banpacha is going forth. Going forth is completely gone. You completely gone from the lay life. To be specific, I like to say you completely gone from sense pleasure. This is the life of the lay people. They live by the sense pleasure. When someone become a monk, they stand opposite to this lifestyle, the lifestyle of enjoying themselves, entertaining themselves in the sense pleasure world. So the monk seek for happiness through meditation, through having less and less worry in life. Not having money, we only have a few pieces of cloth, we eat 2 meals a day, we only have 1 bowl, and this bowl we secure for life that we will get food for the rest of our life. As long as you have the bowl, you become a monk. The Buddha allow us to go to the village and get food from the lay people for life. So that means you don't have to have kitchen, you don't have to cook, and you make yourself easy to support. And there are many reasons why we have to make ourselves easy to support, right? Because we become a beggar, we become homeless. So we leave home to be homeless. We want to have time to really search inside ourselves of who we are and what we want. So basically we live life fully in the spiritual world, the world that opposite from the sense pleasure world. So when someone going forth, that means that person do something oppositely to the lay people. They eat dinner, we don't eat dinner. They dance, we don't dance. They entertain themselves, we don't. Thinking of 8 precepts. 8 precepts is between, right? Between the lay life and the monk's life. So the first week before you become a monk, you are required to observe 8 precepts for 1 week to mimic the monk's activity, to wake up the same time, to eat the same time, to meditate and chanting the same time as the monks do. But you wearing clothes in the white clothes. And that's prepare you to become a monk by observing or experiencing those 8 precepts. So the idea of 8 precepts, again keep in mind, is stay away or stay further yourself away from the sense pleasure world. That is why 8 precepts require you are not allowed to wearing the perfume, to get dressed, to put cosmetic on, to watch any kind of shows, to sleep in the thick bed, no sexual activity, including yourself, masturbation. You're not allowed in the 8 precepts. But in the 5 precepts, you can do, right? Husband and wife, no problem. Eating anytime you want, partying, enjoying the shows, watching sport, and playing game. Anything in that 5 precepts is okay. But it's too much worry. But when you feel worry, you observe 8 precepts. 8 precepts help you to calm the mind down because you are not allowed to do such a thing. If you want to see the movie, you cannot because why? You observe 8 precepts. If you want to put the cosmetic on, you cannot. So you have to be very mindful, otherwise you will break precept, and that help that person to meditate better. And when you're comfortable with 8 precepts, then you focus on your ordination, chanting, you practice bowing, practice eating, food reflection here and there, and then you feel a little bit comfortable to become a monk. So in some tradition, you are asked to stay in the white cloth and the 8 precepts for 1 month. You not just all of a sudden ordain tomorrow, because in the eyes of Buddhist people, ordination is something very special, very sacred. You cannot take it lightly, and we don't want you to take it lightly. We want you to gain the benefit out of your ordination, and we want you to see the value of someone becoming a monk. So some temple they not allow you to do that. You have to memorize the chanting by heart. You have to be able to keep the blessing right at the moment that you become a monk. So there's time for you to prepare for that. Okay, going forward means you completely leave the sense pleasure world, leave the lay life. You appreciate what you receive. This robe, okay, the bowl, everything that you have, you do your best to make sure that you use it for a very long time. The chair that you sit on, if you take the chair and sit in the outdoor, you read the book, and then you just leave it there, you don't bring it back, you break your precept. You see how detailed of the precept. Those chairs come from the donation of the lay people. If you leave the chair underneath the sun, underneath the rain, underneath the wind, you don't pay attention. So instead of the chair can be used for 10 years, maybe it can last for only a few years. Because if all the monks neglect to take good care of the thing that offer from the lay people, so we need to be very mindful of everything we do, because we don't make money. Everything seems to be free because we don't pay, but someone is paying for us. And who pay for us? Who pay for electric bill? Who pay for the food? Who pay for the car, transportation, medicine? Someone, right? And that someone are the someone who looking for merit, because they see you as a merit field. They offer this thing to free our time, so we can have time to practice the Dhamma and meditation, and perhaps one day come back and teach them. So the lay people don't have time for doing what we are doing, but they have time for making a living, have time for making money. When they have money, they're happy to make donation to support the monk's life. And this is the mind of the Buddhist people in general. To me, these two dimensions, I think if every monk reflect on this, deeply, automatically we don't want to do anything bad, because number one, right, the first idea of Banpacha is to avoid doing bad thing, and the second idea of Banpacha is live completely from the sense pleasure world. There's no time for entertainment, there's no time to waste. Every time, every second is very meaningful. Okay, we should feel grateful for every day that we still alive, and every day that we still have access to the teaching of the Buddha. So this is the idea. And there are many definition of the good bhikkhu or the Brahmins. Okay, maybe I can try to collect that later on, but today let me share with you two of them. This is one of them. You not become a monk because you beg from others or the clothes that you wear. No, this doesn't make you a monk. Okay, the one who can be truly called a monk is a person who wholly subdues all badness, both small or big, and that person is called a bhikkhu. Nothing to do with the clothes, nothing to do with the hairstyle. So by this definition, the lay people can become a monk too. You can be a good person who don't think bad, say something bad, do something bad as a lay person, and maybe you can fit into this definition to be a bhikkhu in the eyes of the Buddha. Okay. We'll get to the idea of the noble disciple in a moment. And one dimension of the noble disciple is they don't have to be a monk, but they are the lay people who train themselves very well until they can remove a certain level of defilement. They become Sodapatana, they become stream winning. So these people, even though they are the lay people, they consider a noble disciple. But for the monk who ordained for life but attain nothing, achieve nothing, so which one is better? So you can reflect on that. If any moment you feel like you want to ask, feel free to ask. Otherwise later on you may forget. Okay, it's okay to stop me. And the second definition is a bhikkhu is defined as a person or the person who see the danger in the samsara. You see the danger in the samsara or the cycle of rebirth. He therefore seeks for ordination to obtain the release from this cycle of existence. This is one of the definition of a bhikkhu. So in this definition, bhikkhu can be male and female. Can be anybody who see the danger in the lay life, who see the drawback in the sense pleasure world and want to leave that sense pleasure world for something else that more beneficial, that more refined. And that person is called bhikkhu. So for us, we may not ordain for this. We have no idea what is cycle of existence. We have no idea what is nibbana. We may have heard about it, but we don't know much about it. This is not the main reason why many of us ordain. But the original ordination purpose is because of this. In the old time, a man go to listen to the Dhamma talk from the Buddha and happen to understand what the Buddha was talking about the Dhamma, about the dukkha, about the suffering, and they want to be free from suffering because they understand what the Buddha was trying to say. So they decided to follow the teaching of the Buddha fully by leaving home to be a monk. This is a very typical situation in the old day. Confined is the household life. It's very narrow. Okay, it's very confined. It's the path of dust. But going forth or ordination or Banpacha is the open and spacious path. This is the path of freedom. You are free from day one that you become a monk. You don't have to get up in the morning and go to work and running around, try to make a living and pay the bills. You have 100% time back to yourself to search inside yourself. Get up in the morning, relax, go chanting, meditate, read the book, come back and eat, take a rest, come back and meditation. So day by day, the monk get to know himself more and more, utilize this structure. Okay? This is the life of spiritual people. We don't worry about family, about taking our kid to school, about the project to expand the business, about wife, about vacation, about parents. So these people give us time during the training for us to stay focused, to be a good monk, to get to know have more wisdom about life and how to live good life, and perhaps one day you can share this wisdom back to them as well when you have a chance. This is the idea of ordination. It's not just relaxation, it's not just take vacation, or I have no job, my girlfriend left me, and I'm a disease and I don't know what to do, and then decided to become a monk. This is not the idea of someone becoming a monk. This is the real definition, okay? It's for you to make sure that you remove all of your bad deeds, all of your bad action, the bad speech, bad thought, okay, through the idea of this framework. So when someone become a monk, welcome to the intensive educational journey. The monk need to know what they are supposed to do, what would be the training that they're supposed to be trained under the guidance of the mentor monk, the preceptor, and the teaching monks. The day one until the day that you realize Nibbana. This is it. This is the framework that the monk need to be trained. You are under the system of education called Traisikha, or the 3-4 training. This 3-4 training is again Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, which we talked about this already yesterday. So I will not spend time on this Traisikha, just to recap. So you are here, the novice observe 10 precepts, the monk 2 to 7, right? And the lay people are here, they live in the same pleasure world. It's okay, right? Nothing wrong with that, as long as you know to protect yourself from those defilements. Because when we behave wrongly, we break all the precepts. Even though we may make a lot of money, we may have higher education than many people, but if you keep on breaking precept, okay, it's not worth it in the long run. Okay, you will end up suffering not only in this lifetime but for the future lifetime. Why? Because life is run by ignorance. Is run by ignorance, and we don't know that. We were born blind. We are a blind person. We don't see things the way they are. Our perception, our thinking, all of this experience, they are distorted by this ignorance. Okay, so the monk have a chance to join this intensive, self-development journey from day one until the day that he finish the training. So it is intensive, okay? I don't want you to take it lightly. If you do it for real, your ordination will worth it. But if you look at ordination is take time off to relax for 1 year, again, then you can get relaxation. Relax the body, relax the mind, sabai, it's okay. If that's what you want. But if you really serious, I think, the time that goes by, if there's no one day that you will not stay focused, okay, on your meditation practice, if you don't miss that, in one day, in any single day of your training, I'm pretty sure that you will have the inner experience as you expect. You will find, maybe inner self, someone inside yourself, who you are. You may be surprised that, oh, this is not me. Myself is inside. Who is my true self? Okay, what is self? What is atta? What is anatta? I think this is very interesting when you come this far in your ordination. There's a second teaching of the Buddha talking about Anatta Lakkhana Sutta. And when these 5 monks listen to this sutra, all of them become arahant. People in the old day and people this day, we are the same. We are so ignorant. We don't know that we don't know. We don't know that there is something called inner life. There is life inside us. What is atta? What is anatta? There is something called atta and anatta, right? Self. Everything fall into impermanent, dukkha, and uncontrollable, right? This is called anatta. Anatta is impermanent. If anything that impermanent is unreliable, we cannot rely on this. It cannot be our refuge, because itself is still unsustainable, suffering. So if something that can be our refuge, that thing must be opposite, have opposite characteristic, must be permanent, must be happiness, and must be self. That means it's controllable. You can control your happiness when you get to that self, and that self point to something inside us. So this something like this you cannot find in the Buddhist text. It's only come from your real experience when you meditate deeper. You go deeper into your mind, and you start understanding what Luang Po is trying to explain. So we are so ignorant. We don't know anything much. We think that we born We die just like animal, just like the tree. No future life, no past life. Just do whatever we want, and then we have to come back, because karma will take action, right? Every action comes with consequence. If you do bad action, you will receive bad consequences. If you do good action, you receive good consequences. So please feel grateful for this journey, okay? Train yourself to be a good person. Utilize the precept concept, okay? The manner, the attitude, okay? Practice meditation. Make sure that you can find peace of mind every single situation that you are facing, good and bad. If it's good situation, no need to be overjoyed, no need to be overwhelming those happiness. Okay, can you stay calm? Can you understand? It's just the factor, right? Happiness come and go, sadness come and go. Today you smile, tomorrow you may be crying. If today you cry, tomorrow you may be laughing. So this is life. Can you remain calm? Can you remain relaxed and have understanding mind in every situation? This is the idea of samadhi, and wisdom you will learn along the way. Okay, because without wisdom we cannot fully liberate it. Wisdom is not just understand and memorize the sutra. It's about fully seeing things the way they are. Okay, and when you see things the way they are, you turn on the light, you see everything in the room, you release, you feel relaxed. There's nothing danger in that room, because you see everything in that room. And now life is like we live in the dark place. We're not sure what is that thing. We're not sure how to do this, how to deal with that. So we make a lot of mistakes, as we go through life. So now we come to this topic. So start from here. In Buddhism, you need to know Ratana. Ratana means something valuable. When you have Ratana, you feel happy, you feel pleasure. You think of the gem, right? Ratana points to the diamond, the gold, the silver, you name it. Human being, we're looking for this thing to decorate our body, because we feel that it's valuable and it makes us happy. So the more gold you have, the happier you are. The more diamond you have, the happier you become. That's the idea. So we're looking for this Ratana, or this outer valuable all the time, without knowing that there is something called inner valuable as well. So the Ratana in Buddhism is not this one, because this gold and this diamond, you may have tons of them in the boat, right? But when the boat is wrecked and is stuck somewhere in the ocean, so those diamond that you have, those gold that you have, is mean nothing comparing to one bowl of rice or one coconut. You would trade everything for that food or that coconut for you to survive. So that means it's not the real value. It's just the conventional, like people claim that, oh, this costs 100 millions, this costs 200 millions, and that's come from what? The idea of human being, right? We keep the price for this stone, we keep the price for this gold, and we keep the price for that silver, and it keep on changing from time to time. It's not the real value. It's just the stone, right? If you give this to the people, primitive people, like 1,000 years ago, this may mean nothing. They may use this to show to the cow or show to the cat or whatever. It's just the stone. It means nothing. But this day, this thing costs a lot, and we keep looking for this Ratana to fulfill our desire that have more of this will bring us happiness. But in Buddhism, Ratana, the word Ratana similar to this, but it's not exactly the same. There is the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. There are three gems or three jewels. And why they are so valuable? Why the triple gems are considered the noble valuable? Back to this, similar to that example that I just gave, right? You keep this in mind. There are two things that when it comes to the triple gems, the triple gem will bring wisdom. This is number one quality. And number two, the triple gem valuable because it gives us merit or goodness. Merit. You should be familiar with the word merit and the idea of merit by now. Okay? But people who come from non-Buddhist background, merit can be just a simple act of goodness, helping someone, to carry something or pick up the garbage or say something nice. This can be a good deed. This can be a merit. But in the eyes of Buddhist people, merit has a deeper dimension, deeper meaning than that. When we think of merit, we feel joy, we feel super happy, we feel overwhelming with those energy. And this is the merit in the eyes of Buddhists. Number one, about panya or wisdom, knowledge, right? Wisdom. The triple gem is the source of wisdom. Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, they are the source of wisdom. We'll get to that each item in a moment. And the triple gems, they are the source of merit. The more we cultivate, the more we learn and practice according to the teaching of the Buddha, according to these three gems, it's day and night, okay? We accumulate merit, and that power of merit help us to cleanse the mind from the defilement in our mind, day and night. So every time you look at the good thing that you did, it's only bring you peace and joy all the time, because it's whatever is considered good, it doesn't matter how long it passed. Every time you think of it, you can bring back that positive energy, and that positive energy is called merit. Okay, it's called merit or punya. Punya, this one. So panya and punya are the two main important aspects when it comes to the triple gems. The idea of how come triple gem is so valuable in the eyes of Buddhist people, because it helps us to connect us to the wisdom and cultivate more wisdom. It helps us to cultivate more merit. Every time we reflect on the idea of the triple gem, we think of the Buddha, we think of his teaching, we think of the Sangha. So this is the big difference between the inner treasure and the outer treasure. You think of the gold, the jewelry, the diamond that you have, right? It comes with danger and worry. The more you have, the more worry you are, you become. You feel like someone will, because it can be stolen. Okay? People can take away from you. And when they take those items away from you, you will end up suffering, because you don't want to lose it. And it can run out over time. Okay? If you have more gold, okay, this year maybe the gold price is good. Next year the gold price dropping down. The COVID came, so a lot of things change. You think of Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin, is not in good shape at the moment. People invest a lot on Bitcoin, and now because of things change, it doesn't go the way that people think, and now many people are losing their money according to the Bitcoin. Okay, what about its devaluation over time, right? And it cannot carry over to the next life. It doesn't matter how much you have, right? You can take it with you. You cannot even take your own breath. The moment that you have to go, the breath, the air is very light. It doesn't cost anything. You can't even hold it. You have to let go everything. So forget about diamond, about gold, about money, whatever you have. You're gonna have to leave them behind. Oppositely to the treasure, inner treasure or the triple gems, the wisdom that you cultivate, the merit that you cultivate, okay, it's safe and secure, and it cannot be stolen. Wherever you go, it stay inside, it stay with you. Your wisdom, your merit, this is your protection. It protect you, it guarantee your safety in this cycle of samsara. With your wisdom, you can survive in any situation. With your merit can protect you in the bad situation, in the time that you need help. And it never run out. It increase value over time. Okay? The more you study, the more wisdom you have, right? And the more wisdom you gain, you can use that wisdom to accumulate more and more merit. It increase value over time. So imagine you observe precepts start from day one, the day that you ordain, until the day that you die, whether you die as a monk or die as a lay person. You accumulate a lot of merit. You accumulate a lot of wisdom. And no one can take them away from you. Okay? And this can carry on over to the next life too. This is the beauty of the triple gems. And the Buddha once said, loss of wealth means nothing much. As long as you have wisdom, you can bring your wealth back. Don't lose your wisdom. So how can you gain wisdom, and how can you sustain wisdom? And that's the question you should ask yourself, right? Guard your wisdom well. Hang out with the right crowd of people who love the Dhamma, people who love meditation. And don't hang out with friends who drag you down to the road of destruction, right? People who maybe addicted to alcohol, drug, gambling, hanging around at night a lot, and those activity is not helpful for your spiritual development. So guard yourself, guard your wisdom, and cultivate more wisdom. And this is a lifelong journey. Okay, I don't see how can I finish study or reading all the Tipitaka or the knowledge from the Buddhist text. I cannot see that. There's so many knowledge, so many wisdom in there. Even though you read, come back to the same sutra, you can always learn something. This is the beauty of the triple gem. This is the beauty of the Dhamma. It's something special. Okay, you don't know how did you understand it. First time you understand 10%. Second time you come back, you may understand another 5% more. And you come back for 100 times, you can still gain benefit from reading the same sutra at your 100 time of the reading. You see how beautiful of the Dhamma. It depends on the refinement of your mind. When your mind is clear and bright, you're in a good mood. The sutra that you read, the Dhamma that you study, will teach you something that it did not teach you before. Okay, so keep that in mind. So loss of wealth, small thing. Wisdom is the worst thing to lose. When you have wisdom, you can always find money. You can always make more money. You can have new relationship. You can start over with your life. You can move on with your life as long as you have wisdom. But if you lose wisdom, you can lose your wealth, lose your money, lose your relationship, lose whatever that you have because you don't have the right wisdom cultivate into your life. So let's take into the idea of the three refuge. Refuge, again, something that we seek for refuge, that means it's reliable, right? Something that we feel safe, we feel secure. That's why we seek for refuge. Buddhist people seek refuge from the triple gem, from the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, because number one is dispel over fear, suffering, and the danger. It leads us to security and beneficial. As long as we have faith in this gem, have faith in the Buddha, in his teaching, and in the Sangha, the monks community, they only bring benefit to our life. They only bring benefit to our life. There is no drawback of hanging out with this, this triple gem. Hang out. How can we hang out with the Buddha? The Buddha is not around, right? He does not exist. How can we hang out with him? Well, I like to start with, you study the Dhamma, study the teaching of the Buddha. To be specific, read the sutra. When you read the sutra, the Buddha is always there in the book. When you open the book, you connect yourself right away to the Buddha, because this is the Buddha word, or Buddha Vachana is the Buddha word, nobody else. So when you read it, that means you connect yourself to his teaching, and every time you come back to the book, that means you come back and hang out with the Buddha. You will always learn something from the Buddha. Listen for what he has to teach you. Open your heart, meditate first, and come back and read the sutra. This is how you hang out with the Buddha. So get back to the teaching, because the Buddha said, those who see the Dhamma see dependent origination. Those who see dependent origination see the Dhamma. Those who see the Dhamma see the Buddha. Those who see the Buddha see the Dhamma. So these three things, they are related. The Buddha point to something, I think is quite deep. Dhamma point to dependent origination, see the rising and falling, see the cause and effect of all things. Okay. Dukkha come from where? Ignorance come from where? How can we lessen the dukkha? How can we deal with ignorance? And when we understand this dependent origination, we understand the Dhamma. When we understand the Dhamma, we see the Buddha. Where is the Buddha? And this Buddha, maybe, okay, just my theory, maybe the Buddha is somewhere in our life, in our mind. Because when the mind sees things the way they are, the mind let go all the defilement. When the mind can let go, the mind can come back and stay still. With that quality of mind, where the mind is not run by the five hindrances, the mind stop wandering. Then you start seeing the inner peace, the inner light inside your mind, and perhaps you can see the Buddha inside your mind. This is, maybe point specifically to the word Dhammakaya according to the master discovery. Okay, so keep that in mind. And what is this? Is this Buddhism? Is this the triple gems? I don't know if you have this in Canada, in Ukraine, in Portugal. And why do they seek refuge through this little child? Superstition. Okay. Why don't they go to the temple and seek refuge from the monk?
They seek the outer refuge, like they hope that the spirit will protect them.
Okay. Is this coming from wisdom or come from ignorance? Who is actually stay in that little house that you bowing for? Yesterday we talked about gripped by fear, right? Human being, we fear of something and then we seek for refuge. We bow to the stone, we bow to the cave, we bow to the weird looking animal, we bow to a little child like this because we fear of something and we don't know how to get out of that fear, that suffering that we have. So we need to do something. By sacrifice animal, you may kill 5 chicken, kill 5 pig, and offering chicken and pig to those child, to those ghosts or those spirits, hoping them to help you to free yourself from suffering or problem that you have in your life. And this is definitely ignorant. When Luang Pu, when he was young, he walked past by in his village. He noticed that people doing this. People bow, people offer to the shrine. He himself, as a young age, he has a very discriminative thought that, you know what, I will not be one of them. I will not bow to anything that I have no idea what it is. Is this Buddhism? Because my parents told me that, you know, my mom told me triple gem is our refuge. Our refuge only triple gem only, nothing else. The Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha only, nothing else. Wherever I go, I see people doing this all the time. So he has a very discriminative thought and he refused to pay respect to those shrines without getting scared. At a young age, you know, we would be scared, right? Because we don't know what inside in that little house. But he himself, I have no scare. he was very brave and he refused to pay respect whatsoever. And people said, no, you should, you as a boy, you should pay respect to this. Otherwise, something bad may happen to you. I don't care. Okay, this is not the triple gem. Now you become a monk, there may be time that people come and ask you this kind of question and maybe ask for your protection and give me some special blessing. The real refuge is the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. Okay, nothing else. So you live in the land of Buddhism, in Thailand. Everywhere you go, you will experience this thing. You see the tree that wrapped up with the red clothes, with the candle, with the scent, with the flower, with people offering a lot of things to the trees. You may be wondering, what is that? Why are they doing that? People did this in the time of the Buddha, in the old day, because they don't know when life has problems, they don't know the way out. So they seek for refuge from the trees, from animals, from the cave, from the stone, whatever they feel good. So it's your job, okay, to understand the real teaching of the Buddha. Okay, start from here. The Buddha is the first element in the triple gems. The Buddha is the self-trained from ignoble man to be a noble being by himself. No one trained him. He trained himself. He realized to the truth of life and he teach others. That's the idea of the Buddha. In this case, the Buddha was a human, right? He was a human being. I would like to say the Buddha to be, okay, before his enlightenment. He was a human being, but after his enlightenment, we cannot call him a human. Why we cannot call him a human? Because
he doesn't think like human anymore, or he doesn't. He does the opposite of what humans do.
See, I have been talking this. I have been teaching you many times about this. Okay, human being, we live life by defilement. When someone achieves enlightenment, those person don't have defilement in his mind, so we cannot call him human. So the Buddha is a super being, okay, someone special, someone who his mind possess no defilement whatsoever. In that status, we cannot call him a human being, because human being, the reason we become human being because we have to be born and reborn because of the defilement in our mind. But a person who have no more defilements, that person is a special being. We don't know the right vocabulary to call them, but we can call them a special group of being. They're not a deva because they're not dead yet. They're not a human either. They walk in this planet, but they have no defilement in the mind. The reason the Buddha is worth paying respect, because every time we think of the Buddha, it gives us motivation to do good thing. The Buddha he was a living proof that human being can train oneself from an ignoble being to be a noble being, from someone who know nothing to someone who fully understand everything. He is the role model for the self-development as a human being. Human being, we can train ourselves to be anything, to be a pilot, to go to the moon, to go to the star, to dive deeper into the ocean, to discover a lot of things. If we set our mind to do that, we can train ourselves to do anything, including to be a Buddha. Buddha is not belong to one person or one family. You can be one of the Buddha in the future if you want to. There are the pathway for you to become a Buddha. If you want to, then you just follow that path. So the Buddha was a living proof that a man can train himself to the best version of oneself, to be a man without defilement, to be a man that fully awake to the truth of life, to get to know your life from inside out. Opposite to animal, they cannot be trained that much. Animals survive because of their instinct. You think of the elephant, you think of the fish. When the fish hatch from the egg, fish need to be able to swim right away, otherwise it will be dead. Elephant, when elephants, baby elephant was born from the mother womb, baby elephant need to be able to walk right away, otherwise they cannot follow the group, they will be dead. Animal, we don't need to train them, they will survive. But human being, the day that we born and parents don't take care of us, they leave us on the bed, when they come back, the baby dying. The baby, human being, every single human being, we need to be trained everything. Train how to eat, train how to use toilet, train how to speak, train how to get dressed. We have to train everything. But the good thing is, human can be trained to be anything, including to be a Buddha. That's the beauty of being a human being. Animal cannot be trained. Well, you may say they can be trained, right? You can train the monkey to collect the coconut for you, but that's all. Can you train the monkey to be a scientific? Can you train monkey to meditate and achieve inner peace? The cat cannot meditate, right? Well, we can train them to do a little things, to play the game, to do some trick, but that's it. Nothing further than that. But human being, we can go up to the highest level, to the best version of a human being that a man can be. So Buddha is a living proof that human being can train ourselves to be a better person. We may not achieve the Buddhahood in this lifetime, or we may not want to be a Buddha. It's okay, but you should train yourself. If you train yourself, you can live life happy according to the Dhamma. If you don't train yourself, you become a lazy person. You neglect the precept, you neglect the meditation. Forget about true peace and happiness, no matter who you are, no matter what you believe. So this is something you should keep in mind. And the Buddha come with the three qualities, right? Wisdom, purity, and compassion. Every single Buddha possess this quality. They have more quality than this, but in summarize, okay, there are three qualities: wisdom, purity, and compassion. When we pay respect to the Buddha, when you bow, I don't know what is your relationship between yourself and the Buddha. Every time you think of him, every time you bow to him, he is just what? The figure, a good person, or someone special, or someone more special in your life. So I want you to relate it to this. Every time you chant, every time you bow, okay, in your view, in your feeling, who is the Buddha in your mind? Okay, the Buddha can be just a teacher in the eyes of many non-Buddhist people, but in the eyes of Buddhist people, Buddha is not just the teacher. He has more meaningful than that, right? So this is the first gem, the Buddha gem, the Dhamma gem, and the Sangha gem. This is the Buddha. When we recollect of the Buddha, we collect his wisdom, we recollect his purity, we recollect his compassion. So every time we think of the Buddha, we start recalling this quality into our life to be a good person. That is why the Buddha is a refuge. When you think of him, you can feel safe and secure. You can feel that it gives you confidence to continue to better yourself, to be a better person. Because the Buddha showed us how he did it, and he shared with us openly. There's nothing kept secret. He shared with us every single step of how can you achieve enlightenment. How can you remove dukkha from your life. This is the beauty of this particular teacher. And the Buddha discovered the Dhamma. The second gem is the Dhamma, right? The Dhamma is a human development framework that discovered by the Buddha. The Buddha discovered Dhamma, and the Buddha shared us the Dhamma. The Dhamma is the truth, right? Is the true nature. But when we put into a practical framework, we can think of the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. It provides the right wisdom. Okay? It keeps us away from all evil things. And that is why the more you get back to the Dhamma, the more you reflect on the Dhamma, the wiser you become, the more mindful you become. This is the idea of the Dhamma gem. Okay, that's why Dhamma is so valuable, because it increases your wisdom. It protects you from all evil things. Is there any knowledge that you learn in your life that keep you away from the bad thing? Maybe not much, right? Not many people talk about this. Not many people teach about this. And the last gem is the Sangha gem. Sangha means assembly or communities. This is the idea of the Sangha. There's two groups of Sangha. The first is called noble Sangha, and the second is conventional Sangha. We are at the second level. We are not noble Sangha. Who are the noble Sangha? These are the noble Sangha. This happened for the first time, that the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha exist in the history of Buddhism, when the Buddha gave the first teaching in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. And that day, one person realized the Dhamma, become the Sodapattana, the first level of enlightenment, and then he asked for ordination, so he become the monk. And right then there's a Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha for the first time. So these are the first group of Sangha community in the history of Buddhism. Noble Sangha start from people who achieve the first level of enlightenment. Sodapattana, okay, they become the stream entry, right? Become once returner, become non-returner, and become Arahant. There are four group of people that consider noble Sangha. So in this case, noble Sangha can include the lay people as well. Lay people who achieve the Sodapattana or the once returner, they can be called the noble Sangha, because their quality of mind, they have the mind that uncheckable. Their faith is uncheckable faith toward the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, toward the law of karma. It's impossible for these people to break precept, to do bad thing, to think bad thought. It's just impossible. And that's why they are called the noble Sangha. For ordinary people like us who want to be a better person, who want to study the teaching of the Buddha, so we got ourselves ordained, so we are called conventional Sangha. We may be making a mistake here and there because we're not perfect yet. We want to be good person. That's why we follow this educational system, this training system taught by the Buddha. The Buddha is our teacher, and his teaching is the Dhamma. Our job as a monk, we study what he teach. That's the idea. So we are called conventional Sangha. And conventional Sangha play a very important role. We preserve. How come we preserve? Because we study. We study what? We study the teaching of the Buddha, or we study the Dhamma. This is how we preserve the teaching. The way you practice the chanting, when you go to join the Patimokkha, when you join the ceremony, this is how you preserve the teaching of the Buddha. You memorize the sutra and you teach the sutra. This is how you propagate. You share the Dhamma to the world. So you preserve and you protect. Okay, you protect the teaching of the Buddha and you share the teaching, this wisdom to the world. This is the duty of the Sangha. And the Sangha also play the role model for the peaceful society. If the monk pay no attention to the communities, I don't think Buddhism will last long until today. People will just stay in the wood, teach nobody, and just for myself. Sangha mean community, right? That means ideally you need to have four more monks to be called Sangha. And that is why when the monk perform ceremony and when they ask for the group of monks, by default it need to be more than 4 to be considered a Sangha. That means when you make a decision as a group, you need to have 4 monks to make consensus, to make decision together, not just 1 monk. But the idea, in general, what we call Sangha has to have at least 4 monks to make that decision. And this is the idea of the Sangha. And when the Buddha passed, before he passed, he said, Ananda, the doctrine and the discipline or the Dhamma and the Vinaya that I have taught you, laid out for you, shall be your teacher after I am gone. Sentence has very significant to all the Sangha, because the Buddha did not select anyone to take charge in his community. Okay, my question to you is, if the Buddha were to select someone to be in charge of his community, who would that be, in your opinion? This would be your homework, okay? The Buddha mentioned this in the sutra. So this will be your homework to, I think it's important, okay? Because if you are going to select someone to be in your position, so that person need to have the similar quality as yours. So who would that monk be? So go back and find the answer. Okay, until we meet again, I will not give you the answer. This is worth reflecting. And not only just the name, you need to think of the quality of that person too. And check with the sutra, which one that the Buddha actually talk about this person. As you can see, ordination comes with a lot of responsibility. Okay, not just you to stay relaxed. The first year, okay, you may not know what is this, what is that. But the sooner you adjust yourself, the better for your spiritual advancement. Okay, and when you are ready, it's time for you to help others, right? We ordain, people support us for some reason, and now they expect something in return for the monk to give back to the society. So training, your job is to train yourself. Okay, keep in mind, we are conventional Sangha. If you keep on training yourself, one day you can join the noble Sangha. And when you become a noble Sangha, you can do a lot of good things to the world. You can teach the beautiful Dhamma. You can share your experience. You can help people to attain the inner peace. Okay, in the advanced level, because you have gone to that, that training yourself. And your job is to bring happiness to the world at large, not just for yourself. This is what the Buddha said clearly. Okay, two of you, don't go the same direction. You must go separate direction. Because you already successful in training yourself, now it's time for you to share your wisdom and train people how to lessen their dukkha and find the real happiness in their life. This is the responsibility that comes with the monks. So for now, okay, you new monk, you pick up here and there, you try to understand what exactly is the purpose of being a monk for your own self, and what would help you to be a better monk, and go after that. Okay, chanting, ceremony, getting dressed, study the Dhamma, teaching the Dhamma, or anything. Okay, anything. For now, okay, in the first few years, again, get yourself familiar with the training, and start with something small. Okay, do not overwhelming yourself, but just keep in mind that this is a journey to train yourself to be a better person. You will become better and better every day that you wake up as a monk. And at the end of your monk's life, if you ordain for life, okay, you're not going to be the same person. Or even though you have to go back home, live life as a lay person, as long as you keep on training yourself according to that 3 framework, you will be a better person, better father, a better boss, a better son, whoever you are. This is the beauty of the triple gems. And here, maybe it helps you with your Naktamtri exam, or it is the something that Buddhist people do. When you go to the ceremony, you see people set up the table like this, right? There is the Buddha image. There is the saint. There are 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, and there's 2 candles, right? And there is the flower here, left and right. This has significance. It has the meaning. It doesn't put there for no reason. The Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha are here. The triple gems. So wherever you go for the Buddhist ceremony, you see people set up like this. There must be the Buddha image. There must be the candle there must be the sense, and there must be the flowers, and it comes with this format. Okay, one Buddha image, and then 2 candle, and then 3 scents, and then flower. Flower can come in different form, different kind of flowers. Can be any kind of flowers. Which one represent the Buddha? Which one represent the Dhamma? Which one represent the Sangha? Which one is the Buddha? Buddha image, yes. That's the presiding of ceremony, right? We pay respect to the Buddha image. But beside the Buddha image, the sense, okay. How come?
3 qualities. Because it's in the middle and 3 qualities.
Okay, what are those qualities?
Wisdom, purity, compassion.
Okay, good. Okay, what represent the Dhamma? Okay, candle, why?
They bring light, they bring wisdom.
They bring light.
Fear.
Okay.
Path.
Okay, Dhamma is light. The first candle refer to the Dhamma, and the second is the Vinaya. Okay, this one, the Dhamma and the Vinaya, represents the doctrine of the Buddha. So the candle represent, one represent the Dhamma and one represent the Vinaya. And what is the flower? Why the flower represent the Sangha? Represent by the flowers. You think of the flower. Flower, there are many beautiful flowers, right? Each one of them, they are unique. But when you put the flower together, it looks even much more beautiful by it standing alone. So Sangha is a group of people, wherever you are, you come from Portugal, you come from Ukraine, from Canada, from Thailand, doesn't matter who you are. When you become a monk, when you join the Sangha, you are connected with each other through the Vinaya, through the Dhamma of the Buddha, and that makes the Sangha beautiful. So Sangha represents unity. Sangha represents the group of noble people. No matter where you're from, I can rely on you. You become a noble person. You become a harmless person. You become a person with wisdom. So I can trust you. I can feel safe when I nearby the Sangha, when I nearby the monk. And you guys are connected with each other with the same precept. It doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, how many years you become a monk. Some flower may be old, some flower may be new. Each flower is unique. We are connected. We follow the same standard. We connected through these rules, through the Vinaya that laid down by the Buddha. And this is the idea of the Sangha or the flowers. The scent refer to the Buddha because, okay, there are 3 scents, right? The scent of wisdom, purity, and compassion. And the scents come with smell. And the smell of the Buddha is smell of the good people. This smell, we can smell against the wind from far away. The smell of the Buddha, the smell of good people go upstream. It go against the winds. This is the beauty of this quality, wisdom, purity, and compassion. So that is why they use 3 scents, refer to the Buddha. They use 2 candles, refer to the Dhamma, the Vinaya and the Dhamma, and they use the flower to refer to the Sangha. So next time when you run the ceremony and when you have to organize the place, you know the meaning, and when someone asks you, you should be confident to answer the question. Alright? So the Buddha is a role model for mankind. He set the standard that human being, we are born to be trained, and we can train ourselves to be anything we want, to be success in meditation, to be success in your career, to be success in anything in your life, including in this spiritual journey as well. And the Dhamma, again, is reminding us that we don't know that we don't know. We need to develop wisdom. We need to learn from those who have gone through this path before. People who come from the path of not knowing to become a knower, which is the Buddha and the Arahant in the past. Now they discover the Dhamma and they share the Dhamma with us. It's still fortunate that the Dhamma still exists, still kept in the Buddhist text. It said about 84,000 discourses, too many teaching, but in the sutra itself is about 21, and the Vinaya is another 21, and the rest is Abhidhamma. There are too many teaching. That's why I said it's a lifelong journey to go deeper in this text and try to understand them all. So this is the Dhamma gem, and the Sangha gem. Now you become a part of the Sangha. You become a part of the triple gem. You're not an ordinary man. You are a monk in the Buddhism, following the teaching of the Buddha. So your ordination comes with responsibility. First, you may not be able to responsible for the world yet, but please make sure you're responsible for yourself to be a good monk. What the good monk need to be, what the good monk need to know, what the good monk need to learn, what the good monk need to cultivate, then do it. Okay, reach out for help, seek for advice, seek for wisdom to better yourself. The sooner the better, because when you finish training yourself, then, or you feel like you have trained yourself enough, you mature enough, then you can start sharing your wisdom and reach out to help others. There are many people are waiting, okay, for your knowledge, your wisdom, for your advice of how to live good life. And this is the Sangha gem. All right, so I think it should be enough for today. You have any question, sharing, or anything at all in the past that you feel like want to ask or want to reflect? Can be anything. Okay, shall we take a break?
May I request everyone to pay respect to the teaching monk? Bow.
สาธุครับ
Thank you.
Okay, stay safe, stay happy. Okay, see you soon.
Thank you.
ครับ